Well, welcome to Schenectady today in and around the Capital Region. We're so happy that you're joining us today. I'm Ann Pearl, your host and producer of the show. We have a really great, interesting lineup today. It's not a long lineup, but it is really, will have a lot of impact. We are going to be starting out with Nick Bazance, and he will be performing for us. From there, we're going over to Music Haven and hear about their wonderful international stars that they bring in. Wonderful groups. It's all free, but you're going to hear more about that from Mona Golub. Then we're going to be going over to the Dudley Observatory, and we're going to find out about the eclipse that's coming up in August. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it, and I understand we can get special glasses so we can really see it. And then we're going to wrap up the show with Margaret, who is with Mad Science, and she's going to be doing a bunch of experiments for us, and we're going to find out a little bit more about science and why kids should get involved with it. But right now, I'm going to have Nick take it away, and then I'll be back to talk to you, Nick.
All right, thank you very much, Ann. Good morning, folks. I'd like to start out with a little song written by Burt Bacharach and arranged by Arthur Lee and Love. I just got out my little red book the minute that you said goodbye. Right through my little red book, I wasn't gonna sit and cry. And I went from A to Z. I took out every pretty girl in town. They danced with me, and as I held them, all I did was talk about you. Hear your name and I start to cry. There's just no getting over you. Oh no. And each girl in my little red book knows you're the one I'm thinking of. And I went through my little red book, I wasn't gonna sit and cry. And won't you please come back? Without your precious love I can't go on. It's haunting me, I need you so much. All I did was talk about you. Hear your name and I start to cry. There's just no getting over you. Oh no. Oh, won't you please come back? Without your precious love I can't go on. Where can love be? I need you so much. All I did was talk about you. Hear your name and I start to cry. There's just no getting over you. No, all I did was talk and talk about you. Hear your name and I start to cry. There's just no getting over you. Oh no. Thank you so much.
That was written by Burt Bacharach.
Burt Bacharach,
Oh
yes,
gosh,
from the What's New Pussycat soundtrack.
Right.
That's correct.
And I guess, let me get my mic on here so I can at least talk intelligently. Anyway, Nick, so how long have you been playing?
I have been playing since I was 13 years old.
Your dad gave you an old guitar?
No. Begrudgingly, my mother acquiesced to getting me a beat-up electric guitar because I wanted drums.
You wanted electric, okay.
Yes, and that's what I got, much against her chagrin to this day. And that was it. I was hooked. I was actually hooked as a little kid. I remember growing up.
Who was your inspiration, though? Because somebody must have kind of piqued that, you know.
I wouldn't say it was any one person. I think being a kid and having really young parents and young grandparents, I was surrounded by music. We had the AM radio WABC in New York City all the time. I mean, I remember jumping up and down to Grand Funk Railroad's Locomotion and T-Rex, Bang a Gong, and that kind of thing. And my grandfather was from Iowa, and he loved the old-time country music.
Oh, yeah.
The classic stuff. I have been known to from time to time.
Okay,
Yep. I'm not going to do any today because it's nice sunny summer morning. We don't need bum anybody out this early.
Well, I mean, if you look at some of the country songs that are out there, you know, it say you had to have a truck in it and an old dog, and you got to have a shotgun in the back.
Right. Well, now country music's just classic rock, and they throw a banjo and a hip hop beat in it.
It's amazing how there's been a crossover with country music. I don't know when it started, but I think there was a number of stars that were singing pop and then kind of went over to country, and it went back and forth. So I don't think it has the stigma, and I call it stigma because people talk about country music, so just banjos and, you know.
Yeah, no, there's a lot more to it. Even if you go back to the 50s and 60s, even before that.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys.
Hank Williams. Hank Williams Jr. I mean, he broke the mold for the Hank Williams.
He's really kind of like the prototype of the new country artist, but I'm going to sidetrack just because of that story. But, you know, my influences was just the radio. And just seeing, like, being 5, 6 years old and seeing, you know, David Partridge or, you know, Keith Partridge, whatever, Dave Cassidy, Keith Partridge, whatever his name was, and all those guys. And I was like, oh, I want to be a rock.
You want to be one of them, because the girls will go after you.
Well, that was the next thing I was just about to say. I was a little shy, but I was like, look at all the girls here. It's like, this is great. You know, I wasn't going to get it on I wasn't going to get anywhere on personality, so I figured I better learn something new.
No, that's great. And I've heard you perform at a different venue, and I was impressed with it. And it was like, oh yeah, this would be great to have him on the show.
Thank you.
What advice would you give to kids that might be watching that are thinking about?
About
talk to your mom?
About don't talk to your mother. Whatever you do, that's one piece of advice. Whatever she says, don't listen to her. My bit of advice would be learn the classics.
Okay.
Learn your history and be informed.
Yeah. And
go to, you know, sources that you wouldn't normally do, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Learn it, appreciate it, study it, and move on. And have another, and for being a musician, have a backup plan.
Well, you know, that's important because every musician that starts out doesn't get the Carnegie Hall, and you know.
No, you don't even get health benefits.
No, you don't get nothing. So what you have to do is you have to have a backup plan. And do you have a backup plan?
Well, I do have a day job.
Okay.
I would say, my backup plan was I went to college, got my political science degree from SUNY.
Poli-sci, okay.
And it's like, okay, now I got my bachelor's degree. Now I'm going to go try to be a rock and roll guy, a musician.
Well, I mean, they've done it. I mean, who is this? Kevin Bacon. Look at what he's done. I mean, and here he's an actor, and all of a sudden you hear he's got a band, and he's
the Bacon Brothers.
The Bacon Brothers.
Well, that's always when you have that connection already in there.
Yeah,
it makes it a lot
kind of help.
easier. Yeah,
okay, so what are you gonna sing now?
I'm gonna do a song that
you write.
I do write. Yes, okay. I was. Did a project was called The Last Conspirators, and I wrote the songs with a lyricist, and he's in Florida, so I'm taking over the mantle, and this is going to be a song that was on our last album. It's called Hold That Thought Forever.
Well, I hope he's watching.
I don't know.
Well, we're on YouTube Live right now. Who knows? Maybe he's watching it.
Maybe he's watching. Maybe, we can go to CD Baby and iTunes, and you can buy the album Hold That Thought Forever.
There you go. There you go.
That would help us all out.
Okay, take it away, Nick.
So this one's called Russian Eyes. Saw your face and exit out of the darkness, disappeared without a trace. And in my head, it happens all the time. Living life alone on the run. In a no-hope bar, I saw your face last night. You're so obsessed, you're so far left from right. They ask of you, I never would have done. Living life alone and on the run. I'm gonna cut right through all deceit and lies and seek the truth within your Russian eyes. face on the TV news last night. You were so obsessed, cut right through the light. In my head, it happens all the time. Living life alone and on the run. We're gonna cut right through all deceit and lies. Seek the truth within your rushing eyes.
And what we'll do is I'm going to go right into, just to let my technical director know, I'm going to go right into an interview with Mona Golub, and we'll be hearing from you a little bit later in the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Mona. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thanks. Ann, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's always fun to do the show here at Proctor's on Tuesday mornings. It gets my juices going. How about you?
You know, every morning is a good morning if the sun comes up.
Exactly. And so what we're going to be talking about is talking about a good morning. We're going to be talking about a good Sunday evening.
Yes.
What's coming up?
A series of them. Actually, believe it or not, it's the 28th
annual
amazing. Music Haven Concert Series.
Amazing.
And we're on 6 consecutive Sunday nights, starting the Sunday after July 4th, which would be July 9th.
Yeah, it's going to start. So let's talk about, first of all, who organized this in the beginning, and how did that start?
Well,
28 years ago.
Way back when Karen Johnson was still our mayor here in Schenectady, I asked permission to present some concerts on the Music Haven stage because it really wasn't being used by anybody.
It wasn't being used a whole lot. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And Karen said, sure, go ahead. And that was the start. And
it keeps growing every year, and I
does.
understand you're getting new chairs and everything. I mean, everything's kind of coming, even being improved, if you can improve it at all.
Well, we built the new stage about 20 years ago,
Yeah.
which replaced the old trailer stage that was held together by one steel beam across the roof. And the new stage has been wonderful and attracted folks from all across the region, of course bolstered by our own Schenectady residents. And yes, our House and Hill campaign, with support from the New York State Assembly and the City of Schenectady, is going to help us to put in some brand new stadium quality seating.
Isn't that great?
As soon as this season ends, the construction will begin.
Yeah.
And they're going to terrace the hill, so for those who prefer
that's a
lawn
great
seats
idea.
and blankets, it'll be a more comfortable place to sit and dine and watch a great show.
Well, not only that, it's perfect for Music Haven, but also perfect for other events, which we want to encourage the park to be used for more of those. But let's talk about the Music Haven, because it's a more of a special event, I think. I mean, we pick up, I mean, like Price Chopper does those little gizmos, you know, with all
Capital Region Concert Guide,
with all
yes.
the concert things, and I love those. And there's a lot of events going on.
Yes.
But yours seems to be a notch above, because you bring in international stars. So let's talk about how you find them and then who's coming on.
Well, there's wonderful music that's right here in the Capital Regional, much talent that lives here. There's also some great national touring that goes on through the region as we've become a mid-sized market. But the mission of Music Haven has always been to travel the world one concert at a time.
I know, it's just wonderful.
And by that, each one of our concerts headlines an artist from another part of the world or our country that doesn't perform here with any kind of regularity, and therefore becomes a special evening, a special experience of culture.
And this is at 7 o'clock on Sunday. But, you know, occasionally it rains. So what do you do when it rains?
Luckily, we have the best rain site in town, Proctor's Theater.
Yeah.
They've been a partner with us for a number of years now, and we're very lucky. We make the weather calls early, and of course we promote the information on our Facebook page and on our website, so people know, and they're able to come and enjoy the show in the comfort of Proctor's if the weather doesn't cooperate with us.
And if it doesn't cooperate, we have to also think about our musicians. We don't want them to have get electrocuted, you know, with all these wires and things that they use.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the lineup, and I think we have photographs that we'll be looking at as well.
Great. Well, we're kicking off the season actually where we left off at the end of last season in Ireland with accordion and fiddle superstar Sharon Shannon. She is from Rouen, County Clare, and she actually does not tour the United States much because she is such a superstar in Europe. So this is part of a 6-date tour, and she's going to be making a stop in Schenectady, New York at Music Haven.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, and we've got opening for her a brilliant Irish guitarist by the name of John Doyle, who plays with the band Solas and happens to be teaching up in Bar Harbor, Maine for a few days.
That was cool.
You know, we realized that would work out nicely.
Yeah.
So we're going to start in Ireland on July 9th. July 16, we move on to West Africa. We're going to start in Ghana with our opening act, Jojo Abbott, who's a wonderful performance artist. And then our headliner that evening are the original Afropop pioneers, Amadou and Mariam. They literally are credited with having brought African pop music to the world.
Really?
So it's really a coup to have them coming here.
So we need to get out and hear these people because these have had an impact on music.
They have. They are as much pop as they are traditional African music. So danceable. If you love to dance, you're going to have a hard time not moving around on your feet or in your seat.
And you allow dancing, I'm sure.
You bet. Plenty of space at Music Haven to dance.
Exactly.
Our third show on July 23rd moves on to Cuba with Septeto Santiago. It's a very happy style of music.
It is. It's,
for sure.
And everybody in Cuba plays something, it seems.
It's a musical country,
heard,
and as we all know, there have been barriers across the years that have prevented Cuban music from coming here and us from going to listen to it there. I happened to see Septeto Santiago headline the Global Fest in New York City this past January.
You saw them,
and they were wonderfully dynamic, and I can't wait to bring them to the stage.
And I imagine you can do a little dancing with them too.
Yes, we've actually got a neat acoustic quartet opening for them from Veracruz, Mexico, called Radio Jarocho, and that's more fandango music, but all wonderfully danceable, and it'll be a great Latino dance party in the park that night.
It's going to be fabulous. And then what?
Then we're staying in the United States, heading down to Louisiana with Beau Soleil avec Michael Doucet.
I love that music. I love Beau Soleil.
They are the legends, the classic Cajun band of all time. They've been around and touring for nearly 40 years, been nominated for a dozen Grammys, won more than a couple.
And we can hear these people for free.
Yes, exactly. These are bands that you would most likely pay upwards of $30 or $40 to see in a club or a concert hall. But they are free to anyone and everyone who wants to join us and experience another part of the world for a couple of hours and then go home to the comfort of their own home.
I love the event too. And then you're going to Yemen?
For the first time, we are going to hit the Middle East this summer. So our summer social evening on August 6th, which is what we call our community gala for all intents and purposes, again, the concert's free to the public, features Amir El Safar and Two Rivers Ensemble, which is a jazz sextet that is a wonderful blend of Western jazz and Middle Eastern maqam or tonal music. And we've never hosted anything quite like them. The makeup of the band includes a bouzouki and an oud, two very traditional Middle Eastern stringed lute instruments, and yet saxophone, trumpet, drums, and bass. Just brilliant, brilliant musicianship.
I can't wait. I'm going to be there every Sunday night.
They'll be coming to us directly from the Newport Jazz Festival.
Okay.
So
oh my gosh.
If that helps you understand the caliber of some of the folks who are coming in.
I know. Because watching you over the years, the caliber of performers that you bring, and then and I kind of jumped it when I said the Yemen, but you've got that as well.
We're going to stay in the Middle East and hit Yemen and Israel on our way out with the grand finale this summer. Yemen Blues featuring Ravid Kahalani from Israel, a very dynamic band that is as much soul and jazz as they are African grooves and Middle Eastern and liturgical chant. Definitively great dance music. He is ridiculously charismatic, as his press packet says.
Oh, wow.
But they've never been in this area before either, so that will be another area
This will be a first for that. Yep. Now, going there, of course, we might get hungry. So is there any food around?
Definitely. We have partnered with More Parecas. Maria Papa, who is a wonderful advocate for Schenectady and has a great restaurant and bakery in Parecas, will be serving up both Italian specialties and ethnic dishes that relate to the locales of all these artists at each and every one of the shows. Yes.
So
Yep.
we could really have an experience.
Well, people have come early to get a great seat, not that there's anything
Bad
but a
seat.
great
They're
seat
all-
at Music
they're all
Haven.
good, yeah.
So people start to float in between
But
6
they
and
have their
7
favorite seats.
before the show, and they grab a plate of dinner or a snack and a beverage. We're also going to have Wolf Hollow Brewing Company there with us this year, and always Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream.
Yeah.
So definitely there will be something to eat and drink, so you can relax, come on over, watch the sunset, and enjoy a great show with us at Music
and it's such
Haven.
a lovely setting. It really is. And if you come early with the kids can be in the playground, and then they come over and they can cuddle up with you and maybe doze off a little bit. You know?
We love to see kids
Yeah.
introduced to world music and live music. Such an opportunity for them to recognize that, you know, there are musicians like Nick who perform live with their own energy and their heart and their soul, and
Yeah.
and it's not canned. It's not just on the radio. It has an
You
energy
see
that's
that.
magical.
There's a symbiotic relationship with
Yes.
and if the audience is receptive, which they normally are, it energizes the performers, and they seem to just kind of like feed off it and move just up a little bit more. Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
It's a collective energy that happens just by being there in that moment and opening your heart and your mind and your ears to the experience and allowing yourself to enjoy it.
Now, one question I have is parking. Where do people park?
There is so much parking in Central Park. We can accommodate hundreds upon hundreds of cars.
And what's the best way for them to come in to go to Music Haven? Because I think if you come in through the over by Eastern Avenue area, you kind of are blocked. You can't go much further.
Actually, the gates open up. There is a parking
there is
lot
a-
on
it is-
the
okay.
Ashmore Avenue side of the park. There's a parking lot on the Fair Avenue side
Okay,
off
so
State
there's
Street.
plenty of parking.
There's plenty of handicapped parking.
Okay.
And parking along the sides
Near the
of the
pavilion
entrances.
too,
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So that's good. So what we would like to do is invite people to make an evening of it. It's a free evening. Oh my God, I can't believe that it's free. Well, I know it's not free because you have to raise money because these people are paid.
Correct.
So I understand that. And you have a fundraiser, and the fundraiser is going to be on August 6th. Is that correct?
Yes, and if anybody would like to attend,
How do you pay when it's free?
well, there are invitations that will be available at each and every concert, but the information is also available on the homepage of our website,
Which we've been posting.
which you can link to and purchase your tickets right there. It's a lovely catered buffet under the pavilion by
So
our
it's at the
friends
pavilion,
from More
okay.
Parecas. And then we walk over the 1,000 yards or so to the stage for the concert. And then the guests of the Summer Social are invited backstage to meet the artists.
Really?
And enjoy a little nightcap. So it's a nice evening.
Yeah, and that helps to raise money other
It
than your
does.
sponsors and things. You just
Truly,
sponsors.
it's the private sector, our sponsors for this series, including Price Chopper, Market 32, and General Electric, GE as our two co-presenting sponsors, are phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, we have 24 sponsors who help us make this happen. They help us keep the quality and the caliber of the series such that it becomes a destination for people.
It does. I'm so pleased to have Mona on to talk about this because it's absolutely amazing what they do, and it's just I don't know how to say more because the idea that you're bringing in international stars and you're bringing in people of such high caliber and people that have been on the cusp of changing music in many ways. It's just amazing. Thank you so much.
It's
for
been
what
my
you do.
pleasure
Yeah.
for 28 years now
Thank
and
you.
hopefully a bit longer.
Well, for the entire community, I want to thank you for what you do and for having that dream and for Karen for listening to you. Right?
Thank
Good.
you.
We've been
Yes.
speaking with Mona Golub, who is the producing artistic director of the wonderful series, the summer series for 6 weeks at Music Haven, the Agnes McDonald stage. Plenty of seating, plenty of parking, plenty of food. Just go and enjoy a lovely evening out under the stars to music that will just get you all charged up. And besides, get out there and dance, right?
There you go.
Good. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go to the stars actually, because we're going to be talking with astrophysicist and the outreach astronomer for the Dudley Observatory. We're going to be talking with Valerie Rapson. Please stay tuned. And we're going to take a little break and go over to the Empire State Aerosciences Museum and see what they're doing over there.
Now, I was lucky enough to bump into John Panowski. Hello, John. What's your role here at the museum?
Well, my role today is as a tour guide, but also I'm the vice president of ESAM, and generally I do everything from washing windows, sweeping floors, to giving tours.
And you're going to take me outside, but on the way,
yes,
here we are, and what am I looking at?
Yeah, well, I'd like to show you this before we go outside. This is a very rare, extremely rare aircraft carrier called the Akagi. It was the flagship, Admiral Nagumo's flagship for the attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7th. It was used in the movie. It's a reproduction, of course, very large reproductions, 38 feet long, 2-cylinder diesel engine in it, and you can actually float it from Lake George Village to Fort Ty. It'll float. You'll see in the original movie Tora, 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 which was a pretty accurate description of the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Well, if you're looking for something extra to do for the summer, I would recommend that you take a trip over to over on Route 50 on Rudy Chase Lane, I believe it's called, and check out the Empire State Aerosciences Museum. It's an amazing and very hands-on museum. And you have a museum too?
Yes, we do. The Dudley Observatory at my side. Lots
Yes.
of fun, hands-on science for everybody to do
I
there.
thought you love hands-on science.
Oh, it's great. It's
because
great.
we're having mad science.
I know.
Today.
I'm going to hang after this and watch it. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are. You just love watching science be done.
Absolutely. I love science. It's,
Yes.
it's so sciencey.
It is. There's always something new to learn. That's the nice thing about it.
It really is. I was a science major, so it's like it was just always, you could eat up everything about science.
Exactly.
Whether you're going to the stars or you're digging in the dirt, even with the archaeologists there. But right now we want to talk about a number of big events that are coming up. Yes. We have Asteroid Day. What is Asteroid Day?
Yeah, so Asteroid Day is actually this Friday, and it was originally started by Brian May, and you might know him from the band Queen.
Oh,
yeah, he actually
started it?
He did, because he actually has a PhD.
He thought he was a star, and so
well, you know, he has a PhD in astrophysics. Believe it or not, yes.
That. It's just like the Big Bang Theory with
exactly,
with Amy Farrah Fowler, who has her PhD.
Yes, so you can be an actress or a singer, whatever you want to do, and have a PhD in astronomy.
I didn't know he had a PhD.
Yeah. So he does, and he started this day to bring awareness to the fact that there are asteroids and space rocks out there that could strike Earth, and we should be prepared and thinking about it all the time.
We know what it did to the dinosaurs.
Exactly, and you know, the sad truth is it could happen to human beings as well.
Exactly.
Now, the nice thing about humans is that NASA and the other space agencies are watching for this, so hopefully we'll be warned if something were to pose a threat, but we always should be thinking about it.
Well, it's interesting because they say, well, this is going to be close to Earth, and it's like, well, it sounds like it's an awful far away.
Close is like millions of miles.
You don't know, does a gravitational pull, I mean, what causes it to kind of like go off their trajectory and end up in our backyard?
Yeah, I mean, well, gravity is out there all the time. Anytime a rock flies by a planet or the sun, it can kind of get pushed in the direction of Earth.
Most of the time they burn out before they
we have this lovely atmosphere, so 90% of the asteroids, they burn up, and then even if they don't, it's only small pieces that eventually hit the ground. It's really these big rocks that are half a mile or bigger that we need to worry about. Those are the ones that can
wipe out the Earth. I mean, go into the ice age.
Oh yes, very much so. If it hits the ocean, it's going to cause tsunamis, and it'd just be a bad day for humans.
A bad day for all of us.
Yes.
And there's not a whole lot we can do about that.
No, and
unless we can send up a missile to wipe it out.
Well, you know, a lot of people think that, but if you were to destroy the
those
rock,
sci-fi movies, isn't that what they do?
Well, they do, but if you destroy one big rock, then you have a million little problems. That's what we tell people, because then you've got a bunch of tiny rocks that are going to cause more problems.
They're going to, okay.
Yeah,
so a million little ones are going to cause more problems than one big one.
Well, potentially, yes, depending on how it goes.
Good.
But, you know, for Asteroid Day at the museum, we're just celebrating it by bringing awareness to asteroids, you know, what they are, what are these meteorites.
Do they break off from stars, or do they just, is it flying debris?
You know, they're leftover debris from when the solar system formed. So there are some rocks and junk out there that didn't actually form into planets, and that's just floating around the solar system. So it's just leftover debris, and some of it could be collisions if planets or moons had collided a long time ago, just the leftover bits that are floating around.
And do they, and here, I mean, this shows my ignorance, I guess, in a way. do you know when you've seen an asteroid, and can you examine it to know exactly what the composition of it is and what minerals, and are those minerals much different than what we have?
No, exactly.
Lots of questions.
There you go, exactly. No, you can do exactly that. With small telescopes on the ground, as well as spacecrafts that we send to asteroids, we can examine them, learn what they're made of, and we find that they contain the same minerals as our moon and as our Earth. So that's how we knew that they were just leftover bits of planets.
Okay.
You know, they look exactly like what we have here on the Earth.
Oh, so there's nothing that we haven't found a new
No,
element
I don't think so. I don't think so, but you never know.
No, you never know. And that's why science is so great, because we can always imagine that maybe there is something that we've never seen before, you know.
Exactly, always new things to discover.
So that covers Asteroid Day.
Yes.
What else is coming up?
Yeah, so Asteroid Day is Friday, all day at the museum, lots of fun hands-on stuff.
Do you have any asteroids there?
We do have some meteorites, which is when the asteroids hit the ground. So they'll be on display, and we'll be playing a game called
So asteroid is when they're in the air, and meteorites when they hit the ground?
Yes, exactly, exactly. We'll be playing a game, too, called Find the Meteorites. So you can actually handle a bunch of different rocks, some of which are real meteorites, so you can examine them, and we'll help you figure out what they, which ones they are.
Cool.
But after that, in July, on July 18th, we have a special screening. We partnered with PBS.
Yes.
Yes, to do this screening about the Voyager missions. So people may remember the Voyager missions from the 1970s.
I do, yeah.
They launched quite a while ago, and they traveled to the outer solar system, the first crafts to ever take pictures of Uranus and Neptune up close. And now they've officially reached interstellar space, which means they're beyond the majority of the influence of the sun. So this is a wonderful new documentary about it. Yes, they're still going, and they will keep going forever.
They must have lithium batteries.
No? Yeah, right. The Energizer ones, because they just keep going and going, right? But yeah, so this documentary talks about the missions, basically how were the spacecrafts made, what was their scientific goals, and what are they doing today, especially this golden record that's on them. Have you heard about this golden record?
No.
So because these spacecrafts were going to travel forever, they could, in theory, land on an alien inhabited
is this where
planet.
They have the pictures on them?
Yeah, so it's a record that's got pictures and sounds from
like
Earth.
This is where we come from,
exactly.
and this is a male, and this is a female. Yeah,
exactly, exactly, yeah. So all of that is there. So the documentary will talk about that, how that was designed, and why it's important to show, you know, potential aliens where we are, and that there is other life in this universe. So
that's only if it crashes, though.
That is, you know, I mean, chances are slim that it will crash on an inhabited planet, but you never know.
You never know.
Better safe than sorry.
You're absolutely. So the Voyager mission, they're still going out there, which is amazing. And when you say they're in interstellar space, I mean, they must be beyond how many galaxies? I mean, because...
Well, they're not beyond the galaxies yet, and they actually haven't even reached our nearest star.
Really?
They have a long way to go.
Okay.
Yes, but they're way beyond Pluto's orbit. So they're the furthest man-made craft that's ever gone somewhere.
Well, will it ever get out of our galaxy when you think that our solar system is expanding like a rubber band? So what happens to Voyager? I mean, as this is moving out...
Yeah, that's a good question. So it's going to take millions, if not billions of years for the spacecraft to leave the galaxy. So we've got some time, yeah. And the expansion is really between the galaxies, not so much in our own. So it will stay, you know, fairly close to us in astronomical terms.
Yeah. So now we have the filming of the, it's
called The Farthest.
Farthest, yeah. Because I have it on my calendar because I think it's going to be really neat to see.
Yes, we'll be showing it. So it doesn't premiere on television until the end of August, but we got a special pre-screening, July 18th, 7 o'clock. We'll show the hour-and-a-half documentary, and then I'll do a question and answer with the audience, so any unanswered questions we'll be able to fill in.
Wonderful.
And then if it's clear, we'll bring the telescopes out and do some observing.
Okay, so but what else is coming up in August?
Yes,
that we
the
need
eclipse.
Special glasses
so
for?
Excited about the eclipse. So the eclipse is August 21st. It'll be in the afternoon. It's a Monday afternoon, and we've got special glasses and special telescopes at the museum that anybody can come and use to watch the moon cross in front of the sun.
What always fascinates me about the eclipse, and I've seen some, you know, is what must it have been like for people in the far reaches of our history? That when that happened, they must have thought the world was coming to an end.
They did. I recently went to a talk about the Mayas and how they documented eclipses, and they historically people drew pictures of death and famine and all of this sort of stuff because they didn't understand what was scientifically happening. They just knew that the world was going dark for a short period of time, and that wasn't a good thing.
It didn't sound like a good thing.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, thankfully now we know it's just an astronomical effect. Nothing bad is going to happen. It's just going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, and the Mayans, of course, we don't really know what happened to their culture or their civilization, I guess we'd call it. But they were really into the stars.
Very much so, yes. They figured out the pattern, the mathematical pattern of eclipses without having seen all of them, which is just blows my mind. Yeah. So they knew that they would come about every 6 months or so, and it's just awesome to think that they were doing this science before they could ever truly understand and observe what was happening.
And without a computer.
Yeah, right? We're so reliant on those today.
I know, really. But so you have so much. You have the stars you go out into the dark areas of our Schoharie County.
Yes. We go out to the Octagon Barn, which is in Knox, and we have talks and set up telescopes there. We do it at the museum as well, even though it's not the darkest.
So you don't have all that ambient light.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see a lot more out there for sure.
Yeah. So what else is coming up? I've hit a few of them.
Yeah, no, we always have tons. There's so much going on. Those are our 3 big ones.
Yeah.
We have a calendar at dudleyobservatory.org for all of our small stuff, but there's always Night Sky Adventure, which is third Tuesday of every month, Octagon Barn, which is Fridays, and that's observing and short lessons on astronomy. So just tons and tons of stuff going on related to us.
I did want to ask is because the photos that we've had up, it says eclipse across America. Will we see a different eclipse on the East Coast as they will on the West Coast?
Yeah, so the total eclipse cuts from about Oregon all the way down to, I think it's either the top of Georgia or bottom of South Carolina. So you have to be along that very thin path to see the full sun blocked by the moon. So we're going to see about 66% of the sun covered.
Okay.
So we won't see the whole thing. So we're not in the best viewing place, but it's still pretty neat to see. We'll see a majority of the sun blocked.
Well, just the idea of what's happening.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's too late to travel anyways. Hotels have been booked for like 2 years.
Oh, really? Because people do that?
People know. They travel, they take cruises, they get on planes so that they can see it. So tons of people will be watching this, and we'll get a decent view. When is the
next eclipse?
The next one for our area is going to be 2024.
Oh, so
that'll be the best one.
You gotta do it then.
Yeah, and the nice one about that though is if you go just a little bit to the west, like Syracuse, Rochester area, totality will be there. So you can see a total eclipse within a few hours drive.
Only about 150 miles.
Exactly. So that'll be much easier for people to travel to from our area.
Isn't science wonderful? Isn't
it
it fun? I've always been fascinated by space. I've always thought, when I was a little girl, this was before they even had, going to the moon or anything.
Right.
I always thought, I want to be on the first airship.
There you go.
We didn't know what to call it. Sure. And I remember telling my mother that. I said, I really want to go up there. I want to see what's up there. And it's amazing that we've seen in our lifetime, well, at least mine, going to the moon, walking on the moon. And now going to Mars and going on to Saturn to see what's on Saturn.
Yeah, it's
and
spectacular.
Going through those rings and everything, and finding out that Pluto is the planet.
I know, it's still there. Nothing happened to it. We just give it a different name now.
I know.
Poor Pluto.
Poor Pluto. So if you want to learn more about science, want to learn more about astronomy, learn more about what's going on in our universe, this is the lady you want to talk to, but you need to go to our wonderful MySci in the Dudley Observatory and check out the Challenger while you're there. Challenger Learning Center
always.
as well. Thanks so much, Valerie.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure to have you on. I always have fun with you.
Thank you.
You make me think.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, I'm Ann Pearl. You're watching Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region. Stay tuned for Mad Science.
It was made $1.2 million for the movie in Japan. There's no plastic, it's all metal, and it was donated by an entrepreneur by the name of Charlie Wood from Lake George. He got it at auction out at, I believe it was United Artists in Hollywood, and he brought it back to Lake George to put it on display and found it was a little too big for his premise and donated it to us, and we're very fortunate to get it.
Boy, what an exhibition. Amazing.
The original aircraft carrier, of course, sits at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean somewhere off the coast of Midway. The Battle of Midway We lost the Torpedo Squadron 8 doing it, but we got 4 Japanese carriers during that battle, and that was the turnaround for the American forces in the war in the Pacific.
Okay, let's go outside.
We'll go.
So now here we are outside, and John is going to give me a thumbnail on every aircraft. Go ahead, John.
Okay, what you see in front of you here is a UH-1 Huey. It was similar to the types that were flown in Vietnam. They were used them for medevac. They called them dust-offs. This particular one never saw combat.
And we are back with Mad Science, my favorite subject, science. Anything to do with science, I love. And Margaret, I'm so happy you're here. You're with Mad Science.
I am, thank you.
And what does Mad Science do? What do? You kind of get kids interested in science?
We do. So Mad Science is actually a franchise. We're upstate New York's local franchise. Okay. But we do summer camps, we do in-class workshops, we do birthday parties, special events, booths. Basically, all of your elementary science needs, we've got you covered.
Got you covered. And if you're homeschooled, this would be
yes.
great for homeschool kids.
We do work with homeschool groups, yes.
Okay, so what are we going to do today? You've got some acetone here? Oh, my. I better watch my nail polish here. But anyway, so what's up? What are you going to do?
So we've got a couple of different things, and all I did was I took some of our experiments from some of our special events, birthday parties, our in-class workshops, just so that we can get a little taste for science.
Okay, good. Let's do that.
All right. So you mentioned the acetone. We can start there.
And acetone is what they used to put, I don't know if they still do it, in nail polish remover.
Yeah, they do. So they use acetone in nail polish remover for like glitter nails and acrylics, that type of thing. Yep. So this may take me 2 times. It's science. It's not always perfect.
Science is not always
perfect.
Perfect.
All right, so this is a
regular.
regular.
We'll find a new thing.
That'd be nice. This is just a regular styrofoam cup, really bad for the environment, obviously.
I hate them.
Right, and so we talk about differences of styrofoam versus ecofoam. Ecofoam is made out of cornstarch.
Yeah, I know, and you can eat it.
Eat it. Yep. So we do that, but I'm going to make a spider web. Like I said, this may take me 2 times, so just be patient with me.
There you have some acetone.
I've got some acetone. I've got my styrofoam cup. This is something that you guys can do at home with the help of an adult.
Okay. Oh, you're putting it right on the styrofoam cup. Oh my gosh, look at that.
And it's very, very fragile, and I'm letting it dry, but I created a spider web.
I had no idea.
So you have to be careful not to put too much acetone on it, otherwise it's going to dissolve the styrofoam cup.
So you just put a little bit on.
Yep, all the way around so that I can break it apart.
Shows what it's like. So if we want to get rid of styrofoam, we have to use acetone, which
yes.
is not good for us either.
It's not good, but they actually, if you use the acetone on the styrofoam, it actually creates these like hard hockey pucks, and they can actually be used for, you can make a bench out of them, you can make a patio, you can do things with it, okay? So it's not a total waste, don't throw them out.
Okay, so there it is. That's what now I know about. Oh, look at that, it even stands up, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty much.
Look at that.
Falls a little bit.
So, you can make a lampshade. No, I'm getting creative. Okay.
All right. So the next thing, 3-cup Monte. If you've ever been to a circus or fair before, 3 cups. They put something under the cup. They spin it around. You have to guess which cup has the thing in it. I'm going to do that. I'm a little bit slow. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit of water in the cups. And
this is not acetone.
This is not acetone. This is regular water.
This one you can try at home.
This one you can try at home too, without the help of an adult. All right. So add a little bit of water, just a little bit. And then if Ann guesses correctly which cup has the water in it, I'll dump it on my own head.
Which means I probably am not going to get it because she knows that this is going to be tough.
All right, ready? So this is the cup that has the water in it, Ann. Ready? Like I said, I'm a little bit slow. I'm not the fastest person. I wouldn't do so good at the fair. All right, which cup is it?
Well, I'm going to say that one.
Okay. So Ann thinks it's this cup. I'm going to dump it on my own head.
Oh! And I was watching. Oh my, what a sneak. What a sneak.
All right, so what I did was I put...
What a sneak.
I put a little bit of sodium polyacrylamide powder in there, which is
Oh
the
yeah,
powder.
I have that on my kitchen shelf.
And it's made for, it's in diapers. So the powder that
absorbs.
absorbs, yeah. So it creates this gel, which creates a
It
suction.
didn't make any difference. I was never going to win.
No. So it creates a
And she was
suction
never
to
going to
the
get
glass.
wet.
That's why I volunteered. All right. So the next thing I want to do, these guys, these are called Erlenmeyer flasks, one of my favorites. We're going to blow up a balloon, but I'm not allowed to use my mouth, my nose, or a balloon pump. So we're going to use science to do that.
You're going to do that, so you're going to have to create some gas somewhere.
We are. So an acid-base reaction is a great way to create some carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is what we exhale when we breathe out, right?
You're not going to be doing it with helium, I know that.
I'm not going to be doing it with helium, no. So I'm adding some acid, in this case some vinegar.
Okay.
And then in the balloon,
Oh, you're going to have to some sodium bicarbonate.
I do. That's what I have in here. So what I'm going to do, and if you could hold the flask for me.
I certainly will. I can do that without any trouble.
And then,
Oh, I see what you're going to do.
go ahead and do it for me.
Yeah, you're going to drop the sodium bicarb in there. Wow. Look at that. And it works.
So we created.
Kind of like when I used to make wine, see? And then you put the balloon over the top and then
Right.
it would...
It take the carbon
Exactly,
dioxide out.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I made wine before. It was with juicy juice.
All right. So acid-base reaction, it's a cool way to blow up a balloon without actually using helium or your own carbon dioxide.
Right, cool.
All right. So the next thing I want to do, see this big bag here?
Yeah, it's a big one.
It's a fancy garbage bag, really. It's closed on one
Can I
end.
just put this over here?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's open on the other. I'm going to open it up a little bit. I'm going to enlist the help of Anne.
Oh,
What she's going to do, she's going to try and
I
blow
don't
it
have
up.
to get in there, do I?
No. So Anne is going to try and blow this up. Here's the caveat, though. She can only use one deep breath.
Oh, my God.
All right, ready? I'm going to trap the air for you.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. Did I have that much air?
Oh, Anne, that's really impressive. That is really impressive. All right, so
How did I do that?
I'm going to show you a trick.
It was a trick, right?
No, the trick is coming up now. So lungs are just slightly bigger than your fist and your chest.
You know, I had that much air in it? Stop.
Apparently.
Okay.
So the way to actually fill this up more is to hold it slightly away from your face, because not only are you taking the air from your lungs, but you're taking the air from around your mouth and in the atmosphere, and you're pushing all of that air into my wind bag. So let's give it a try. Knowing you know my trick now.
Okay, so what you're saying is I should not cover my face.
Right, so you're going to hold it a little bit away so that extra air from around the atmosphere can get in too.
Okay.
All right. Good?
Not much more though.
That is more. It's
is more,
almost
okay.
the size of me.
And who says that air doesn't take up space, huh?
Seriously, that's a nice volume of air.
Yeah, cool.
All right,
So we learned something there, that I'm full of hot air.
all right. So,
Stop it, the crew.
so question for you. What are the three most important parts of a flashlight?
Well, the bulb,
Yep,
the
bulb,
holder, and the batteries.
battery. What do we need
The
to
filament.
turn it on?
Oh, a switch.
Yeah. So the three most important parts, according to me, of the light bulb are the light bulb, the on-off switch, and the battery, right? Something to power it.
Right.
So what I have here, I have a water bottle. It just has water in it. I'm going to add a chemical that creates a battery. This is called sodium perborate. And
Oh, yeah,
this
they
is
use
going to
that for
create...
your teeth, for cleaning teeth.
Yeah. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. They actually use this in soap making. So if anyone makes soap, this is used in soap making too. So I'm going to add a little bit of my battery. Then I'm going to add a little bit of my light bulb. This is called luminol. So it's a special powder that in certain creations will actually create
Well, they use that
illumination.
when they test for blood,
You got it.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, they use luminol. I knew that.
So they actually create a solution of luminol when they do that.
Yeah, that shows up under a black light.
Exactly.
Exactly, I know.
Yep.
All
right.
TV. No.
So that's my light bulb. And then I'm going to add my on-off switch.
And
So
what is that?
my on-off switch is
got a pipe back
actually
there?
bleach. Yes.
Oh, bleach. Okay.
So I'm going to add my on-off switch when
That's going to react with the sodium perborate.
and the
Yeah,
luminol.
Yeah, and the luminol.
Yep. So when I add it, it's going to. Can you see the blue?
Yeah. I do. I see it.
Let's see. We might have enough battery and enough luminol to give one more good squirt.
There it is.
Yep.
But it goes away, the color.
It does. So the light bulb only lasts as long as the on switch, the bleach, is actually on.
Okay, so that's the light, is the blue that pops up.
Yep. So
Okay.
the blue, the luminol, is what creates that blue color, the light
Okay.
bulb.
Okay, good.
All right. So let's see. The next thing I want to do is this guy. So you're going to have to help me. I'm going to
I
be.
have to help you, okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to take your mic off, though, because we don't want you.
I don't want to get caught up.
We're going to ring it around her neck.
Okay. So I'm going to be sitting on this, and I'm going to be holding weight. So where should we go? Right
Yeah,
here?
right here is fine. Can you pick her up on this? Whoops. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it work. Okay, you're going to sit down.
I am. So this is a demonstration in the conservation of angular momentum. So
Oh.
I'm going to sit as much as I can. I'm a little bit bigger than most elementary school kids. So this is kind of like figure skating. What do figure skaters do when they go to spin faster? They bring their arms in.
Oh, absolutely. They
Yeah,
bring it
so-
right up.
So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be holding weights, and you're going to be spinning me in one direction, and as you're spinning me, I'm going to bring
How am I going to
the
spin
weight.
you? On your shoulders?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, all right.
As much as you can do. Woo! All right. I'm going to try that again. Yeah.
Keep going? Or?
Yeah, keep going. And that's good. So as I brought my arms in, I started to spin quicker and quicker
Yeah, you did.
because I was bringing the weights in closer to me.
To the center of gravity.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
okay,
I
good.
started to spin quicker and quicker.
Cool.
All
Okay.
right. Let's see. There's one last
Wait a
thing.
second. Well, you have to get your microphone back on because people want to hear you. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So one last thing I want to do is show you. This is my friend the hovercraft. We actually have a real hovercraft that students can ride.
Oh, wow.
But this is one of our workshops. All of our workshops come with what we call a take-home. So they can take something home and make it so that they can continue the experience. This hovercraft is one of those take-homes. So I made it before the show started. So all I'm going to do is, you want to turn it on for me?
I don't know how to turn it on.
There's a little
Oh,
switch
there's
there.
a little switch there.
I know, it's hard to see. All right, so if you see the hovercraft, it's actually floating above the table, and I can move it around when I create some force on it with my finger.
Okay.
So it's actually floating above the table.
Okay, so and there's nothing under it.
Nope.
No, it's just being by the spinning.
Exactly.
Cool.
So hovercrafts are kind of like a push-up. When you do a push-up, you push off with your arms. That's like the fan. And then your back is kind of like this board of the hovercraft. And so it pushes off, and you're able to move it with force.
Well, if you want to learn more about science, I think they have to contact you then. They've got
do.
your website to do it.
Yeah.
This is really great. I love science, first of all, but I love that you bring it down to the kids' level and even my level, you know. But the balloon's still up there. So
Right.
It must still be.
It's still holding on
that.
its carbon dioxide.
And I want to thank you so much for letting me know how much hot air I have in my body. I mean, it's like I can't believe that. But thank you so much for being here, and
Thank
I
you,
hope
Ann.
that you go forth and get kids interested in science, understanding what these are a lot of chemical reactions.
Yes.
There's also sciences, physics, and
biology,
and many
earth
other
science,
things.
yes.
So, but these are things that you can do to have the kids grab their attention right away.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to take another, I don't know if we're going to take a break, but we're going to move the table out of the way, and Nick is going to come back and close out the show. But before, so we'll let you do that. But first of all, let me say who's going to be on our next show as I crawl around here. And have you got me on camera? I'm sure if I'm in the right spot. What we're doing is next week we're taking a break because it's July 4th, and since July 4th falls on a Tuesday, we are unable to film here at Proctor's, so because they're taking a vacation. And whoops, So here we are. Let me tell you who's coming up on our next show. We're going to have the Bellevue Reformed Church on, and they have a free little pantry, and we're going to be talking about that. Cap Rep is going to be doing Mamma Mia, which is ABBA's, great songs. Then the Catholic Charities are going to be here. They're going to be talking about volunteerism and all their programs as well. We're also going to be talking about Class Afloat, which is a fabulous learning experience for kids, and they're on a big sailing ship as well. Maple Ski Ridge is going to be on, and we're going to be talking about their Run for the Ridge. And then Proctor's Historical Committee, we're going to find out a little bit more about the old Carl Company from them. But I don't know, where's Nick? Is Nick here? Nick, there you are. I'm going to turn it. What are you going to do now, Nick?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to do one more song that I wrote off the Last Conspirators album called Hold That Thought Forever.
Okay, well, we have roughly 5 minutes, so you can do
5 minutes, okay.
Keep on going.
Keep on going,
and
all right.
This is Nick Bazance. If you're interested in learning more about Nick, go to his website and you can find out about him. And also, I'm sure you'd play a gig or two if somebody called you.
That is correct. NickBazanz.com, NickBazanz.com. I have some information. I have some private functions. I have some gigs coming up with my cover band, The Comrades, and some exciting news about the original band, Nick Bazanz and the Eddingtons, coming out next week.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to spill the beans just yet, but it's going to be pretty big news. And,
we're going to have a big press release?
Absolutely. You'll be the first to know.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Nick.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to let you take the show right out.
All right. Thank you very much,
Sure.
friends. This one's called Fortune Teller. Please tell me, is there a way out of here? Is this the exit that I take to get out of here? Take a look in my weary eyes and tell me, what do you see? Stare into these deep, deep pools and tell me, what do you see? Gaze into your crystal ball and tell me, is there a future for you and me? Lay down your tarot hand and tell me, what's in the cards for me? Look into your tarot hand and tell me, is this the truth? Look into my wasted soul and tell me, is this the truth? Is it the truth? As we enter the darkest hour, tell me, what do you see? As we enter the weary hours, tell me, what do you think of me? All this future, all the years past before my eyes, and the truth, they divide the gray and the black into lies. Is there a way to get out of here? Is there an exit that I could take to get out of here? Take a look in my weary eyes and tell me, is this the truth? Stare into my wasted soul and tell me, is this the truth? Is this the truth? Is this the truth? And is this the truth? And is this the truth? Heartbeat, why do you kiss when my baby kisses me? Heartbeat, why does a love's kiss stay in my memory? riddle-de-pat and sing to me the story. Reveal to me love's glory. Oh baby heartbeat, why does my love's kiss stay in my memory? Riddle-de-pat and bring to me the story. Reveal to me love's glory. Oh baby heartbeat, why does a love's kiss stay in my memory? And sing to me the story. Reveal to me love's glory. Oh baby heartbeat, why does a love's kiss stay in my memory?